I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it because this is when all the interesting stuff happens at the beginning anyways, when we're just like talking.
Hunter live on location.
Some live look inside the training room there as we join into Final Approach Game Day, brought to you by Final Approach Irrigation. Hunter Brock out there on scene as we prepare for this week's Thursday night matchup. It's like the Pac-12, except hotter, way more humid, and but
it's actually nice outside today. It's like 50% humidity.
Says the man sitting inside.
Says the man who walked outside to his truck and grabbed some batteries for tonight, then walked back in. And I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
You guys have been outside today?
Yeah, I know.
Man, I didn't know we could do that. Well, boys, we got two games this evening, one that we care about very much and one that we know is going to be a blowout, but we're going to discuss for reasons that are also somewhat important. Tonight, Niceville hosts the Mosley Dolphins, and I think it's going to be a barn burner. If Niceville wants to win, it's going to have to be. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. It's going to come down to one, ball control, converting on third downs, and keeping the defense off the field.
Mm-hmm.
We need some 3 and outs. Now, I don't want to jump too far ahead of you, but, these teams aren't too far apart on paper when it comes to the offenses. Unfortunately, nobody puts up the defensive numbers, but when you look at them, they're for total offensive numbers, we're only talking about 50 yards a game, and that's in a margin of error right there.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're looking at Mosley's report card so far this year, 5-1 with a loss to Bay, a 14-point loss to Bay, a B+ offense, looking pretty good on offense. Their defense is leaving something to be desired, just saying. And they have one quality win over Collins, Milton Panthers in district play. For Mosley, this is going to be a tough game. It's never an easy game to win, but especially because your boy did some digging in the old stat book over the last 10 years, and the home team every single year since 2015 has won the game, which is insane to me. That means that Mosley has won the last 2, but Niceville over there winning the first 6 of those. So home field advantage tonight, boys?
Absolutely.
I got to disagree. It's the season at JP Holzenbake right now for Mosley. He's having a fantastic season so far. He's only a junior, which means he's gotten better from last year. And right now, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks in Northwest Florida, but he's in the state. Look at it, he's probably a top 15 quarterback. So for the Niceville defense, it's stopping him is going to be the biggest issue. And right now, he's completing 74% of his throws, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So, I mean, this guy if he lived in a little closer to us in Walton County, he would be one of those contenders for best quarterback of the year so far.
Yeah, so JP Holzenbeck is a very good quarterback, but Samuel Chisholm, his running back, his tailback, both of these guys, this is their first year starting because they had 4-year starters at both positions the year before. And I mean, they look really good. They've been an above average offense all year so far this year. And as we're looking at the matchup so far, Mosley has that quality win. I don't know why it has Childs down there. It should be Milton, but whatever. They have a B+ offense, according to our stat predictors, and a C defense. And you can see on the other side of the ball, Niceville with a B offense and a C+ defense. That defense for Niceville given a little more than, I think, 330 yards per game. So like Heath said, we're going to need to see a stout defensive effort from Niceville if they want to have a shot tonight. I think that giving up 350 yards a game is just not going to cut it with these guys. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, for underclassmen to be moving the ball as well as Jacoby Gilliard and Deegan McCoy are, and using those wide receivers, Robert Oliver getting a lot of touches, Justice Donahue getting several catches. It's going to be a big deal for this team in order to keep their defense off the field, to get successful. Getting points on every drive is a must for Niceville tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the big keys that I see in this game is Niceville's offensive line versus Mosley's defensive line. Mosley so far has 17 sacks so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
3 players have at least 1 sack per game. So these guys can get to the quarterback, and if they do, it's going to be a long night for this Niceville offense.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Niceville really struggled against Choctaw. I tell you, I couldn't count how many times that the D line was getting into the backfield and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So if Mosley didn't watch that film and know not to do that, Niceville should be pretty good in holding their ground. Now, they looked good last week against a not so good Godby, but, when you got a good team that you can go in and scrimmage against and really kind of pull out all the stops and come out, obviously, on top, that says a lot. I like the fact that Niceville's got a lot of weapons on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They just got to be able to move the ball and control that line of scrimmage and protect the quarterback. And with that, Mosley's going to be pretty tough on the defensive side. They're going to get after it too, but I don't think they're as high caliber as Choctaw's defense is. But they do have a quality team, both offensive and defensively. So,
yeah, and just looking at these 2 plays from last week that Colin got over there at Eagle Stadium, at the Eagles Nest, Deegan McCoy running the ball pretty well right now. Passing okay. If he doesn't make too many mistakes tonight, I think that he's going to be a significant asset for Niceville. He's a guy that, he's throwing significantly more touchdowns than interceptions, but I think he still has, I want to say 6 on the year. And this defense is going to have to play like this all night. They cannot let Mosley get big passes, because that's what they did last year when a veteran Niceville team went to Lynn Haven or went to Panama City Beach, came in and lost that game, I think by a touchdown, 34-28. They had the lead briefly, and they lost it because Mosley decided to just start heaving passes up in the air, and they started coming down with them. The secondary's just got to play locked down. They've got to play much better than 340 yards a game.
Yeah. Well, 2 points you made there. Deegan McCoy, keep on, he's a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, he's actually performing at a junior, potentially senior level right now. He's able to move the ball around. He's able to read the field well. But he's also got to keep his weapons in place and get some good passes. Now, last week he had a few overthrown. He had more arm than he did legs than the receivers. Understandable, but you got to slow your rhythm down, be poised and control. Now, on the defensive side, I was going to say, what was my second point I was going to make? Defensively, Niceville gives up a lot of plays in the secondary, and penalties come on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is another one of those things that really kind of takes the wind out of your sails. Because they were stop, and then, hey, let's throw one out, air one out. Next thing you get a pass interference, you got a first down, you got 4 more plays to move. So the secondary, I think one is your man coverage versus your zone coverage, and then 2 is keep your head on the ball. Keep it, and don't let the receivers get behind you. I think that's one of the biggest things I saw. Receivers getting behind the DBs. You can't let that. DBs, you're the last line of defense, and you got to keep the ball and the player in front of you.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're going to be right back with more analysis and pregame for the Niceville and Mosley game, and we'll get into the Gulf Breeze Milton game, as well as our fresh off the presses power rankings that'll be coming to you, all thanks to Final Approach Irrigation. So stick with us. The Final Approach to Game Day is brought to you by the good folks at Final Approach Irrigation. Owner and president Hunter Brock is one of the guys on this show and does a great job making sure that your lawn is looking like you can play on it for game day. They install irrigation systems and design them as well, and they provide even and efficient water distribution, keeping your lawn and landscape healthy while also making sure to conserve water. And if your sprinkler system is in need of an update, he's the guy to go to as well. They maintain and repair sprinkler systems, from little broken sprinkler heads to faulty valves and leaks. They make sure to offer you fast and reliable repairs to keep your system running smooth. And finally, they take care of the little stuff that you may not think of that is super important to keeping a healthy lawn. Stuff like making sure that your drainage is properly installed and working. No matter what, Hunter and the folks at Final Approach Irrigation can take. Well, welcome back, everybody. As we're looking into this game, Niceville versus Mosley is going to be the key event tonight, this Thursday night game, because, frankly, we don't have enough referees. And if you want to know why we don't have enough referees, we have an article about that on midbaynews.com. Just type in referee, and it'll explain the whole thing. But I know you guys aren't here to talk about referees. We're here to talk about, well, right now, Gulf Breeze and Milton. So, Colin, you have all the data on this one. Long story short, it's going to be a lot to a little. Why do you care about this game tonight?
Well, for Milton, they started 0-1 in district play by losing to Mosley 27-14, and this is their chance to rebound coming off a bye against I don't want to say a really bad football team as Gulf Breeze, but a very young and small Gulf Breeze team. We just saw what Niceville did to them. Beating them 56-6. This is probably the get back game for them. I probably expect it to be like it was earlier this year when Milton played Pensacola. It might be a running clock for the Panthers, but for them, they'll go 1-1, and depending on the Mosley-Niceville game, that will determine where they stand in this district. Either tied for second place with Niceville, or if they fall to 0-2. They're effectively done, and there's no chance for them to go to the playoffs, regardless of them finishing with a winning record. So for them, it is homecoming night in Milton. They are coming off a very emotional week as they lost Coach Hurley Manning last week. But if this game goes how I expect it, I will be in time and home to watch the season finale of Peacemaker. So, it'll be a good night for me.
So what are you saying, like 9 o'clock, you're going to be home in bed?
I'm not going to be in bed, just on my couch. There's so if anyone knows Milton geography, literally a block south of Milton High School, there's a Whataburger, and usually my tradition when I covered high school football games, or actually went to high school football games, is you'd stop at Whataburger. Get yourself a nice little treat. So I might get like a sweet and spicy bacon burger.
HBCB.
Go home to the wife. Get a Diet Coke because got to watch that slim figure, and then and enjoy the rest of my night. So,
Colin, I've said for years that you're a snack. All right, I don't think you like.
I'm not a snack. I'm a meal, baby.
You're a meal. You're a good-looking man. You're a good-looking man. All right, people know this about you. But while we know two things here on Final Approach to Irrigation. Three things. Thing number one, an irrigated and well-maintained football field is very important to victory, and we'll talk with Hunter about that here in a minute. Thing number two, Colin Thick. He's a good-looking man. All right. And thing number three, Whataburger is just what a burger should be. All right. And so, Hunter, yeah, that's right. I brought a commercial from before I was born out. I don't care.
Well, you say that because you're from Texas, and like any Whataburger slander is like sacrilege.
I won't have it. I won't have it on this show.
Like the best barbecue is not in Texas. It's actually in Oklahoma and Kansas and South Carolina.
Boy,
I'm getting fired.
I'm fixing to furlough you, boy. You be careful. All right. Now, hear me out. So, Hunter, how's that field looking? What are you thinking about tonight, this game tonight?
One, field looks great. Looked really good today. You get time in the guys.
Hey, Hunter, you're breaking up pretty bad. We can't hear you.
I'll help you out with the field looks great. However, Ruckle played last night on the field, so it shows a little wear here. But
he did say it looks great.
But it does look great, and the nice centerpiece is amazing. I love it. I just love the colors.
Looks good. It looks fresh.
Yes,
yeah,
it looks great. Even though Ruckle played on it last night, which is I was going to say junior high school, middle school, showing my age. But no, the field looks pretty darn good. And for Final Approach's approval that we're ready for game day, I take that as a 2 thumbs up.
It's that one little brown spot on the north end of the
It's
field.
character. It's like a mole. It's a birthmark.
It's like a mole.
It has personality.
Yes, it's character.
Yeah.
It gives us the personality and the home field advantage because you know where that's going to be, right? Yeah. You know if you block your guy into that and he tears his ACL, like that ain't on you. That's on the field. That's field casualty.
Now, Brock, I got to tell you this game tonight for you. I know this is your alma mater and things like that, but I'm sorry. I don't even think it's going to be a game. I mean, Milton is 200 points or 200 yards per game more than Gulf Breeze. I think it's going to be running clock within the first quarter, maybe even midway through the second quarter. I just don't see this being like you said, you'll be home on the couch eating your Whataburger by 9 o'clock.
See, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. I feel like because This is probably Milton's best chance to see what Katie Hall can do at quarterback. This is a run-first offense, and Katie Hall is coming off his best performance at quarterback, going 10 for 13 last week, 80% completion percentage. However, he did not throw a touchdown against Mosley, but they were able to run the ball quite effectively, still getting over 250 yards against Mosley defense. So for me, I think this is the tune-up game because you look ahead to this Milton Panthers team, and they play West Florida Tech, and they're no they're over in Pensacola. Then you end the season with 2 road games. You have to go to the Eagles' Nest for a district matchup, and then you have to go to Pace, and that's one of the biggest rivalry games in Northwest Florida with all this emotion on the line. So for them, their playoff route's probably a little bit harder because there's a bye week next week. Mosley already had their bye. They go to Arnold, they go to Gulf Breeze, and they have Florida State High School to end the year. And Gulf Breeze, unfortunately, is like trying to sim to next season. But for the grand scope of playoffs, I think this is going to be very interesting because who gets out of 1-5A? Because everyone thinks that Milton and Mosley, I think, are the favorites right now. But is there a chance in either your mind that Niceville sort of backdoors their way in? If they win tonight, the chances go up, but they still have to play Milton. And I think Milton's the better team right now.
Well, not getting too far ahead here, okay? You got to play this week first, okay?
Yeah.
Hypothetically say, all right, Niceville wins tonight, Mosley drops, okay? Well, going into playing Milton, the one thing Niceville does is they have a great run defense. And that's what their offense is based off of is their running game because they don't put up a lot of points in the air. Now, if it was the opposite now, I'd be scared because our secondary needs a little peeking and tweaking. They give up too many big plays, and that makes me nervous. So if we were to go in today, Niceville wins, goes to play Milton, I give this one to Niceville by 2 touchdowns.
Not only that, but I think that it is not remotely outside of the realm of possibility that Niceville is able to win tonight. I think Niceville has a puncher's chance at this game. I think they have better than a puncher's chance at this game. I'm not saying that they're the favorite. I agree with the line being Mosley with 5 points, but I think that I think we're well within the realm of possibility of Niceville showing up for this game. I think that I think it could be a blowout. I'm not saying that it's not a possibility. I'm not saying that Niceville couldn't get blown out, but I think if you play this game 100 times, Niceville wins it 30-35.
Well, I tell you what, I want to go ahead and, like I said, I want to make my pick known for tomorrow, even though we didn't do picks today. I'm putting Niceville by 8 now, and I'm going to call this one's going to kind of be on the meter in the mid between because this could go either way. Niceville still has to play all 4 quarters. Mosley has to play all 4 quarters, and on paper, these guys aren't too far apart with a well-balanced offense. So it's going to be, I mean, literally, it's going to be penalties, third down conversions, and giving up the big plays through the air. That's what's going to be the difference in this game right here.
Yeah, and Brother Hunter, what do you think? Can we hear you on this one?
Yeah, how's that? You guys give me better this time?
Yeah, it's a little scratchy, but
Can you climb
make it
higher
work.
in the tower?
I mean, there's a light bulb right there. I was thinking about it.
I mean, you look great, but you sound horrible. I mean, those aviator glasses are great for Final Approach. We see you, but we don't hear you.
So not really, but we'll do a series of thumbs up, thumbs down questions. Niceville, do you take them with the points? Do you think Niceville can keep it within? Good teams win, great teams cover. Can Niceville cover the spread tonight?
Blink with both eyes if you think they'll win.
Does Niceville cover the 5-point spread?
See, okay. So again, guys, I think that Niceville is a definite underdog. I would not bet money on this, but I do like Niceville's chances for an upset. I think it's at home. I think over the last 10 years, the team that is at home has won this game. All right. And I'll put that up because I spent a lot of time on this graphic. All right. So I do think Tommy Joe has a game cut out for him tonight. Right. And I think Coach Morgan has home field advantage. That is the best stadium experience in Florida, bar none. Name a better high school stadium experience. You can't because it doesn't exist. And I mean, when they're playing like we're seeing in this, right? where these guys are coming through. Deegan McCoy is able to go through his reads, make his decisions, and then run the ball. Maybe not do that thing at the end because that's a great way to get knocked real hard. But between him and Jacoby Gilliard and Robert Oliver, and if they can get everybody healthy, ready to go tonight, and this defense makes plays like this, I like their chances because they're an athletic team. They're a good team. So now that we've covered both of these games, let's talk power rankings, and then I'm going to do one extra for you guys. I made even more graphics because you know how much I like to make graphics. This is the wrong one. Well, we'll bring it up here while I'm pulling up other video.
While you're saying that, I have something to say.
Go for it.
It's one thing we have not talked about in this Niceville Mosley matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the better coach to get their team prepared? Is it Tommy Joe Whidden, who is arguably one of the best coaches in Northwest Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. Or can Coach Morgan get this team ready to go? Because, I mean, last week, Heath was there, I was there, Hunter was there. We all saw this performance by Niceville. I feel like it was kind of limited by Deegan McCoy's performance. He went 7 for 17, statistically his worst game as the starting quarterback for Niceville. Can he bounce back against a solid defense with the Mosley Dolphins? And which coach do you think can prepare their team better for the moment that is tonight, a district game where there's a lot more riding on the line for Niceville than there is for Mosley?
What you think, Heath?
Well, I tell you what, Mosley has been, a program that's been in play for several years under the same leadership. Once you buy into that program and you see that year after year. So I think Tommy Joe has a one-up in this particular case because, Coach Morgan, I think, is a very talented and well-respected coach for his pedigree. Coming in, it's mid-spring, grab these guys, tried to shape and mold them coming into the season. I think one is he's done a great job of taking it and raising the level that these kids are playing at. But it's just early on for him. I think once he gets through this season, which I think he's got a good chance of getting to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next year it'll be one of those seasons for him that'll be a banner year. To showcase his true talents because he'll have a full year with these kids, go through a spring practice, implement, because now he's implemented his offense and his defensive schemes. It'll be, second nature. So he'll be one of the top rated coaches here in the area. So,
and he'll have almost everybody back, right?
Yeah,
with the exception of some of his wide receivers. Most of that defense is going to be back. His backfield's going to be back. So he has a lot to work with. So let's talk about the Week 8, hot off the presses, built this an hour ago, top 10 power rank for the Emerald Coast. Choctaw, of course, still at the top, got every single first place vote. Pace sliding just a little bit. Bay moving up just a little bit. Mosley moving down just a little bit. But you can see Milton and Catholic are tied. South Walton and Tate are tied. Milton with the superior defense that has kept him in every single game. Catholic with a superior offense. I'd love to see these two teams play because I think that combination would be an electric football game. South Walton and Tate. Tate, of course, losing to Milton 0-3 earlier this year. South Walton didn't move. So South Walton lost by 32 points to Choctaw last week and didn't lose a position. That's A, how good Choctaw is, and then B, the fact that South Walton was able to score outside of garbage time against Choctaw for the first time since August 22nd. That told me that I kept them in my rankings exactly where they were. I thought that was a good place for them. I think South Walton is a very good football team. I like them to be in second place. We're going to find out tomorrow when they play Freeport. They're going to host Freeport tomorrow. Winner essentially gets second place in District 1 2A. Tate holding in there, trying to get a playoff berth as well. And then Freeport, Niceville. Niceville has got to win this game if they want to make the playoffs. That's what I think, guys.
Oh, absolutely. This is Niceville has to do it because they've got, because they're dependent on one Mosley winning out. And then, of course, you got to still play Milton.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's this is the test tonight. How bad do you want it? Do you want to make it to the playoffs? Because, like I said, I think Milton is a very beatable team by Niceville. just purely looking at the stats, because Niceville really does play strong with the run game. They can shut a run game down pretty well, I feel. So, I mean, this is it tonight. I think this is for all the cards.
Yeah, and I think that Ray says that, I think everyone is underestimating Niceville. I think that's probably an astute observation because Max Roche is back in the lineup. James Madison commit for Niceville that plays at tight end. He's the safety blanket over there for Deegan McCoy. So there's a lot of positive happening. Then Hunter, who's having those audio problems, puts in, I think that Freeport Sowall game will be a good one to watch. And I agree with him. I'm really excited about going to that game tomorrow. I think it's going to be the game of the year for me. One of the tight, it's an unstoppable force versus an immovable object kind of thing, except both of them have really good offenses. So we'll see which defense is less movable. I think it'll be your classic Pac-12, Big 12 matchup. And then, what I thought was interesting, and I pulled these up as well, making our own kind of graphics. I took our top 10s from our power ranking voters. You can see they're pretty much the same with the exception of Colin knocked Pace down a couple of rungs. And then the FHSAA, that's what actually matters. Doesn't matter what we say. It matters what the FHSAA decides because they're the ones that ultimately give those wild card votes. And you can see down there, Freeport's ahead of South Walton right now. But the other thing I want to point out to you is Niceville behind Milton, and it's, of course, behind Mosley. But Mosley-Milton right there. So if Niceville knocks them off, I mean, that even if they were to lose to Milton, right, if they beat Mosley, I think that keeps them just barely in playoff contention as we move closer to the end of the regular season.
Mm.
And then Hunter says, Niceville needs to do the same thing tonight they did last week. Deegan really came out last week, and I was very happy to see how he performed. He said it earlier on the defensive side of the ball, we have to keep the receivers in front of us. He's exactly right. That defense is nothing to shake a stick at if they can keep Mosley out of their secondary. And so Mosley, B-plus offense, it's going to be a hard task. The other thing I want to point out is the games that are left on the season for these four teams. After Niceville, Mosley's got a very, very bad Arnold team, an even worse Gulf Breeze team at home, and then a relatively tough Florida State University high school team that is beatable. South Walton lost to them earlier this year by about 14 points. So I'm not guaranteeing that Mosley can beat them because I don't think I think it's a 50-50 game. So I'll be watching that as well. Mosley, of course, having that one quality win over Milton. And then moving on into Niceville, like we said, they got a B offense. It's above average. So to give you an idea, between C plus and B minus is exactly average on our report cards. So above average offense, slightly below average defense, no quality wins. They got to play Milton and Navarre. Navarre has got to be the best 0-6 team I've ever seen. That being said, they're an 0-6 team. So
I like how you paraphrase that. It's the best 0-6 team that I've ever seen.
That being said, they're 0-6.
They're just young. They're just young, and they probably had one of the hardest schedules to start high school football season that I've ever seen. Like Pensacola Catholic, then at Choctaw, home to Mosley, at Milton, at Tate. Like that sucks. Like that's winnable. That like the combined record of all five of those teams has to be like 25-3.
Yeah.
Like that. That's how good they are.
So when we come back, guys, we're going to give our final predictions for tonight's games, and we'll wish you a fond farewell before we head out to our various games, give you that latest updates. So stay with us as we get this message in from Final Approach Irrigation, because our boy, RIP in peace, his connection has gone out. The Final Approach to Game Day is brought to you by the good folks at Final Approach Irrigation. Owner and President Hunter Brock is one of the guys on this show and does a great job making sure that your lawn is looking like you can play on it for game day. They install irrigation systems and design them as well, and they provide even and efficient water distribution, keeping your lawn and landscape healthy while also making sure to conserve water. And if your sprinkler system is in need of an update, he's the guy to go to as well. They maintain and repair sprinkler systems from little broken sprinkler heads to faulty valves and leaks. They make sure to offer ye fast and reliable repairs to keep your system running smooth. And finally, they take care of the little stuff that you may not think of that is super important to keeping a healthy lawn. Stuff like making sure that your drainage is properly installed and working. No matter what, Hunter and the folks at Final Approach Irrigation can take care of you. Sorry, guys. I took everybody off so that we didn't cough or do something loudly in a commercial. But, fellas, we have our final score prediction. So we'll do Gulf Breeze and Milton first, just to kind of get everything out of the way. Does Gulf Breeze lose by more than 50?
You know, I'll give Gulf Breeze credit. I think they cover the 44-point spread, but I'm going to have the San Luis County Sheriff's Office number on speed dial before I witness a crime. like you think the Crusades were bad?
Come on! Don't bring the Crusades into this. What did the Kingdom of Jerusalem ever do to you, Colin?
Like as a person who went to Milton, as a person who's played Gulf Breeze, this is sort of a rivalry game between two schools. I will say my senior year, when we actually played them on homecoming night, we actually lost to Gulf Breeze. And that was a horrible, horrible feeling that I hope these seniors don't feel in their time. You know, but I got to agree with Hunter. It's going to be bad. It's like, if I text you guys at because kickoff is at 7:30 because Santa Rosa County does things weird over here. If I'm home by 8:30, it's gonna be an interesting night.
Hey man, just think about it. You'll have free time.
Yeah, I could go to Whataburger and get that sweet spicy bacon burger meal, and then bring home some to my lovely wife, which style points there.
Just what a burger should be. Heath, what is your prediction in this game?
Well, I tell you, Milton's obviously going to, I think, is going to handle this very well. I think it'll probably be a 40-plus difference in points, possibly running clock by mid-second quarter.
I got to agree with you guys. I think this is going to be wrapped up pretty quickly. I've not seen anything from Gulf Breeze that makes me think that they're going to put up a fight. I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not. Yeah. Niceville versus Mosley, the game for this week. What do you got on this one, Colin? Why?
I know he's going to go against Niceville anyway, so you might as well go ahead and say it.
If you took the averages from Max Preps, the team scoring averages, Mosley wins this game 42-28. That's the scoring averages. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going to be like that. I think Niceville covers and wins outright, baby.
Yeah! About time you jumped on the bandwagon.
Niceville's gonna whip. It's gonna be BTA. If you want to know what that means, it's Google it. I'm not here to tell you. This is a PG show, but I don't think it's going to be Niceville by a million, but I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Niceville scores late. I think Deegan McCoy bounces back. I think this offensive line steps up against a really good defensive line by Mosley. I wouldn't be surprised if Mosley wins. I'm not saying that. I think that's fair. But Niceville, this is your moment to keep the season alive. Dropping to 4-4 is not good for you guys. 2 weeks left in the season, and you have a bye week approaching. So yeah, Niceville has to win this game. So give me Niceville 27, Mosley 24.
What you got, my brother?
I mean, at least he was with realistic expectations. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think Niceville takes this by 8. Like I said, it's going to be a hard-fought game in the trenches. Nobody's going to run away with this. Mosley is not going to come out there and just run all over the place. Niceville's not going to do the same thing. It's going to be a well-balanced game. I think it's going to come down to, it's going to be a low, I predict a low scoring, but I agree somewhere in the 20s, maybe 20, 27, maybe 20, 28, somewhere along there. It's just going to be a darn good game. I'm so excited to watch this one here because I've got a peek at watch the guys practice this week a couple times. They look poised. They look like they're ready to go. The coaches have really been working with them, and I think really fine-tuning them to their craft and their positions. Discipline is going to play out in this one for Niceville, and as well as keeping the ground attack to a minimum, and then minimize the air attack with Mosley. So balanced offense on both sides. It's going to be a heck of a game, but I take Niceville by 8.
All right. And Hunter says it will be a tight score, I believe. I'm going to say 35-31 Niceville. And to conclude this evening's broadcast, I'm going to tell you guys a story. It's not just any story. It's a story about the football game between Mosley and Niceville last year. Mosley defeated Niceville, I believe, 37-29. Niceville had a lead for a little bit and then gave it up there at the end. And at the very end of the game, they lined up, and one of the kids from Mosley snagged a towel off of one of the Niceville kids' waistbands, and fisticuffs ensued. And
you don't mess with a man's strip, all right?
Indeed. This is you don't abuse or I don't want to use that word. You don't fool with another man's drip. And so, but there are several powers in life that are very strong, and love is one of those very strong powers in life. But boys, there is one thing in a 17-year-old's heart that is stronger than love, and that is a mix of hate and shame. And I think, for my money, there's a lot of deep-seated hate. For example, Crestview, those boys hate Niceville. And I haven't seen anything since Crestview played Niceville that tells me that Crestview should have played that good against Niceville, right? And in the same way, I think every single one of those kids that was on the team last year remembers that fight. And I think they want a piece. And I think they want to make them hurt. So, yeah, I'm picking Niceville. I'm picking them 42-35. And I'm picking them to rush the stadium afterwards, even though they shouldn't. Don't do that. I didn't tell you to do that. Look at me, kids. Look at me. Look at me. I did not tell you to do that. I did not. I didn't tell you to do that.
So,
Charlie's going to be so mad at us.
You know the last time that Niceville's field was rushed and actually damage was done to the field?
No.
Shall I take you back in time? 1988, the field goal came down.
I like story time.
Oh my gosh, the pictures of seeing that after the aftermath of that, and just seeing the city came down onto the field because there's so much excitement. But to watch those goalposts that come down was just amazing. Because one of the kids, he was actually still hanging on to it when it actually fell. So let's get back to that place. I think we can do that.
Boys, the 80s were a wild time. They were an unhinged time when there was no damage permanent to children from stuff. And now we're just scared of everything. That's fine. I don't care. Anyway, guys.
Real quick before we go, since this is a sports show and we have to do some shout outs.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Megan Darhauer.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball coach. Niceville High Coach of the school Teacher of the Year. Shout out to her. Women's basketball, men's basketball is coming back at the end of this month. Ain't that awesome? Ain't that fun? So, yeah, shout out Coach Megan. You know, whipping those girls up in the shape.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season. Carson Fayard, her star point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, is going to go to Air Force next year to play for the academy. She signed, or I guess she made her intent known. So we're excited about that. But guys, we got so many good sports things to do. It is now 5:09, and it is time for us to get ready for football tonight.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back tomorrow right here, 4:30 for Final Approach to Game Day Week 8, Part 2, when we will recap the game tonight and talk about the rest of the games that are going on, and then go to our various games that we have the next tomorrow. So be ready. And I just got a text message. Josh Wilson from FloridaHSFootball.com will be on the show to talk about all things stats and quants and around the state and everything that we're looking forward to as the season gets closer and closer to the playoffs. See you guys next week. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night, boys.